Okay, my seventh strategy. These are not necessarily natural per se, but I still believe they really support, because most people coming from chronic pain conditions and suffering with all of these chronic illnesses actually have some deficiencies. I'm not saying we all are going to have the same deficiencies. That is why if down the line you want to have the test on yourself, is actually better to determine that. Normally these are done in just functional medical practitioners. These are the kind of people that do this kind of stuff. No, normal doctors, they don't. If they are low, they have to be very low for them to be considered there is actually kind of like a deficiency. However, these are the supplements that work the most for me. There's a lot of scientific evidence as well suggesting their validity and how they have helped people in the chronic pain community. In general, not just fibromyalgia, CFS, or ME, but different autoimmune conditions as well. I just want to point out there, I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you here what it worked for me as a practitioner, what I recommend to my clients. But I always ask them to please double check with your, general doctor, because and mostly if you're having some supplements or if you suffer other conditions, you don't want any interactions or anything. Just better double check with them before, taking any supplementation. So the first one, and this is part of the B family. I love vitamins B as well. They are going to give us a lot of energy. They're incredibly good for you. I always suggest as well to avoid the pill form, because sometimes your body actually cannot absorb all of that. It's better to have it maybe with powder form or liquid form. Well, intravenous is even actually better, but again, that is with your doctor. But there is very good scientific evidence with vitamin B1, so for short term to use in very high doses. So if you want to go for this, you really need to go to the doctor to use high levels of vitamin B1 TMN. There's been enormous, trust me, very good research with amazing results with vitamin B1 taken for short periods of time in very high doses. So it needs to be done with a medical doctor as well. I'm going to be putting every time I like to quote my research, because I don't like to talk like I'm nobody here. I just research a lot, and obviously I listen to all of these people, and these amazing people, these amazing doctors. So I'm going to put at the end of the document, I always want to put all of the research where I find all of this from, so you can go and have a look if you would like to go further and dig deeper into that. Well, second, obviously this is one that I mentioned before, is magnesium. Magnesium, I like to receive it internally and externally. There are different sorts of magnesium. We have magnesium citrate, that is considered better for digestive function, and glycinate and malate, that are mostly used in chronic pain conditions. So personally, I like to take them both times. Again, what I send to you right now as well, I like to cycle supplements. So I will have it for 2 months, and then for like a month or so I wouldn't have them, just to see how my body's responding. Maybe I wouldn't, one day I will come up with nothing at all, so that will be absolutely amazing. But what I'm saying with the magnesium, the glycinate and malate, there is a lot of scientific research showing that they are the best that you can have for chronic pain conditions as well. And again, we are so deficient, but I can tell you this from now, once I start having magnesium, my twitches, my cramps, any kind of involuntary hand movements that I used to have, that is very common in the chronic pain community, mostly in fibromyalgia sufferers. I've seen it a lot out there, and that I've seen a lot, and I've been researching. I'm not a doctor, I'm saying what I think. It can be kind of like an electrolyte imbalance, demineralization. Well, not having enough minerals, I don't have to say the word, but not having enough minerals, probably lacking some magnesium, potassium, sodium. So again, it's dangerous to just supplement with all of that at once, but what I can say to you, magnesium is quite safe. Most people actually are supplementing with that these days, because as I mentioned before, our soil is depleted due to poor farming processes. So magnesium is one of the best things that actually you could take. It's going to be good for you with or without pain. So that's my second supplement, mandatory. Well, hemp CBD, I already mentioned it before, is going to be amazing as well if you're suffering with insomnia. Unfortunately, the problem with the CBD is that it's a little bit expensive. It is an expensive tincture, and if you go for very high concentrations, it's going to be even more expensive. But the higher the concentration, the better the result you're going to get with it. I used to have it just for sleep. I've seen people actually having for pain. To be honest, for pain, I prefer to actually apply it as a massage, as you know, depending on where I have my pain. And yeah, because for the tincture, it's still very good, but it's still a little bit too expensive, I will say, for most people. So, but yeah, I will definitely recommend it. I think it's a really good product if you get a good source as well, and again, organic preferably. The next one is actually one of my favorites, and me, I am a person who is actually again engaging in physical activity. So I'm training now these days. I'm trying to become stronger with my body weight. I don't focus so much on weight loss or anything like that. I'm focused on actually be super strong with my body, which I think actually everybody in the chronic pain community should be doing some kind of resistance training, whatever it is, calisthenics or weight training or whatever it is, so you get stronger. If you get stronger, you feel more empowered. It's not just physical or, you know, physical confidence, but it's as well mental confidence. You're going to feel both ways. So this supplement helps me really in supporting those workouts. And the name of it is D-ribose. I buy it in a powder form, and basically what it does is kind of like a form of sugar. Actually, it's a sugar, but it's a sugar that doesn't behave the same as sucrose or fructose. So when we have the intake of those, that is D-ribose, is not going to spike any insulin, meaning that you are not going to need to any spikes of insulin. So it's going to be very good for the blood glucose. Basically, it's not going to affect you in any way. People in the fibromyalgia community take it so much. There is very good scientific evidence supporting it, and I absolutely love it. It helps with pain, it helps with energy. If you are engaging a little bit more into more movement into your life, please don't get discouraged when people say to you, well, you're training again, you don't have fibromyalgia. Don't believe that. You really can get better. I was certainly really bad, almost bedbound, but just down to tiredness. I couldn't literally move my arms at one point, and definitely over time I got better. So check that out. The next one, it will be fish oil. So you need to have omega-3, and mostly if you don't have a lot of fish in your diet, because I understand it's a little bit expensive. There are very good brands out there of fish oils that that can contribute to what you need. They're very good for brain protection, joint protection. They are going to be it's going to be actually really good as well for metabolic processes and for immunity in general. So omega-3 is actually something that everybody as well in or inside the chronic pain community or outside of the chronic pain community should be taking at the end of the day. And well, the last one, and this mostly in places where the sun doesn't get to us very often, like in my case, I live in the UK. We don't have that lovely sun that we will find in Latin America, where I'm from. I miss that. But vitamin D, you really need vitamin D. There is very scientific evidence again pinpointing that it's not that vitamin D is going to help with pain, but deficiency in vitamin pain has been related to developing of pain. So if people tend to be depleted of vitamin D or are depleting vitamin D, probably they might be experiencing over time a little bit of pain. So if we do, and apart from that, vitamin D as well is really good for stress. It's going to be good as well for depression. It's going to be very absorbed as well when taken with the fish oil. So yeah, it's a really important supplement as well to take if we don't have the daily sunshine in our face. That will be very important. So I know that this is going to be a little bit you know, it's still some money that you have to put towards it. I'm not saying that you need to take them, I'm just saying that they might help. You might not need to take them all, you can take some and, you know, see how it goes. I certainly don't take all of them at the same time anymore as well, and as I said, I cycle supplements, and I see, and I can tell you for a couple of weeks I don't have them, and actually I feel actually really good. So later is when I start feeling some pains again, and then is when I start introducing them again. So you can cycle the supplements, I will say. I don't think people should be taking supplements kind of like forever, all the time. I believe in the power of cell regeneration of our own body, and I believe at one point, you know, all of us having a proper mindset as well can be actually living a normal life as a normal person. I'm still very positive of that. So, well, that was for number 7 strategy. I'll see you in the next one.